So give me all of you in exchange for me. Just give me all of you in exchange for.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we did this pretty periwinkle blue eyeshadow look. The inspiration came from Sherry MUA on Instagram. That is the inspo pic right there. And we also discussed my must-have go-to MAC brushes, whether you're trying to invest in your professional kit or you just want to know which of these iconic brushes are worth investing in. I let you know my honest opinion. And if you just want to see how to get this look, please keep watching and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's get into it. This is so weird. I'm filming during the day. I got my coffee. You guys know I'm a night owl, so filming during the day is like really weird for me. But we're here. Speaking of coffee, you guys, I think I'm gonna have to like really slow down on the coffee because I just feel so jittery after coffee, and it like, I can't do makeup. Like I literally can't do the makeup. It's so strange. But yeah. So anyway, let's get started. So I have my brows lightly filled in because I wanted them to have like more of a feathered look because this is a little slightly editorial. So this look that I'm going for. So even though I like swore I was not into editorial makeup, but it's all over Instagram and I got some inspiration from Instagram. So anyway, this is about my must-have MAC brushes that I think if you're gonna invest in MAC brushes, I think these brushes are the ones that are just like the best ones to invest in. So first we're gonna start out with the 208 S brush. So that guy right there, the angled brush. This brush is perfect, especially for carving out the brows. I love to use this to carve out the brows, but it's also really good. And I'm going just a little bit lighter with my concealer today because in the inspo picture, it's a little bit brighter. This brush is amazing for carving out the brows, but you can also use this brush to create like wing liner with either the gel, which is not my favorite kind of application really for a wing liner, but you can like, you know, do a smoked out wing liner with this, which is really nice. And you can also create cut creases with this, which this is not my favorite way to create cut creases, but I know a lot of people who do use this to create their cut creases because they feel like they can just get like a more even application. For me, I just can't work like that. I don't know, like I can't work in smooth lines. I have to like stipple it on and then go back in and create like make it like more even and straightened out and stuff like that, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think this is a really good brush to invest in because, you know, it really gets in those nooks and crannies. You can use it as bottom eyeliner as well. Like I just think it's so versatile. That's the point of brushes, is to be like a little bit more versatile, and so you don't have to have a different brush for every little step in your application process. I'm just prepping my skin now while I let the concealer dry down a little bit. So I'm using the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum because I am using a dewier makeup today for this look. A very dewy makeup actually, like a super glowy makeup. And I want my skin to be like matte underneath because I'm very oily, and as an oily girl, we need to make sure that everything underneath is matte so that we get the glow look and not the sweaty look. So I'm just gonna powder down my face now, and I'm using the Fenty Beauty. This is in the color Honey, and I don't know if you guys do this technique, but this has literally been a game changer in my makeup. This makes my makeup last so long, like super long. And I actually am going somewhere today, but I'm not sure if I'm going to wear this makeup because it's gonna be a lot of color. And it's my friend's birthday today, so happy birthday to my friend Jill. So she's having a party at her house later, and I'm so excited because I'm gonna see a lot of my friends, and of course I'll be vlogging, so you'll see the party and everything. I'm just making sure that I'm really set and powdered in because I do not want the glowy makeup to come back and bite me later, because it will. With my oiliness, it will. Yes, the 208 brush I think is like the best thing ever to have in your kit because you can really clean up because it's so small, and if you want to do any precision work, it's really great for that. So I definitely say it's a great investment. I mean, I think any MAC brush honestly is a great investment. These are just some of the most world-class brushes. Now, I've never tried Sigma brushes and I've always wanted to, so I can't compare, but to me, I think MAC is really doing their thing with the brushes because honestly, I've never had any problems with shedding. Well, okay, like maybe after 50 washes, like I've had brushes for years from MAC, and I had one contour brush that broke down on me like a little bit. I kept using it for a while, like the bristles were coming out and everything, and I did keep using it for a while until it was really no good. But I bought that brush back in like 2020 and it just broke down on me in 2024. That's like a very good and long time for brushes. Yeah, MAC is definitely doing their thing with the brushes. So now we are going to use a little bit of this paint pot from MAC. They don't make it anymore, but it's in clear water and it's this blue. And we are gonna go in with the 239 S brush. And this is also a must-have brush because it packs on colors so nicely and evenly, especially shimmer shades. So I'm just using this just as my base so that my powder color goes on evenly and not patchy, because when you're working with color, I really do recommend putting on like the cream base first and in like a color that you're kind of going for, because I feel like it really does help for the makeup not to be patchy. And we're gonna go in with, now that we have our base down, if I can open it. So we are using the Anastasia, this is the number 2 Pro palette, and we're gonna go in with the B5 color right here. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm gonna use B4, the color right next to it here. And I am gonna use the 217 brush, which is another great brush. So this brush, I use it to pack on shades before blending it out, because I feel like once you start diffusing and blending your colors out, if you don't pack it on, if you just go in straight with like a fluffy blending brush, I do personally feel like it does not, it kind of messes with the color and just makes it patchy, especially when you're working with bright colors like this. So I'm just keeping everything really close to the lid right now, and we will blend everything out. Don't worry, I know it's looking a little crazy now, but it will get blended. So now that we have that, I am gonna add a little bit of the B2, more so in the crease. And then next I'm taking another essential brush I believe that you should have if you are investing in some MAC brushes. This is the 224, and I just am blending. You see it's already getting patchy. That's why I really love the 217 brush, to try to avoid that. But to be honest, the 224 is probably my absolute favorite brush. Blending is probably everyone's, actually it's probably not everyone's favorite part of makeup, but like once you get down the blending, I feel like it becomes a favorite part of doing makeup, because once it blends out and diffuses, it looks so good and you really love the end result. But working with color can be very tricky, you guys. Very, very tricky. I think they just dropped off my luggage, it sounds like, which is great. So I can finish packing between today and tomorrow. So yeah, so it's just a constant of going back and forth between the 217 to pack the color on and the 224 to blend it up. All right, now we're gonna go in with the other side that doesn't have all that blue on it. And we're gonna take the Such a Tool Powder Kiss eyeshadow from MAC, and we're gonna pack that on top to create a very pretty pastel blue periwinkle situation. So I'll put that on top, but that color is a little bit grayish, so I use just a little bit of that. And then I'm gonna go in with a more lilac from the Anastasia Pro Pigment Volume 5 palette. And I'm gonna use this color right here, B3, so that it's actually like purple. And I'm putting that right on top. And then we're gonna go in with the 224 brush again and just continue to diffuse. So it's more pastel and less of that bright blue. And this is a lot of color, you guys, so be prepared with some makeup wipes. And you see how it's giving more pastel now? I'm really obsessed with pastel looks right now, you guys. Super obsessed. I don't know what it is about the pastel looks, but I'm obsessing. Maybe because I know Europe is coming. I don't know. I just think of pastel, or maybe it's just like the season. This season there's just like been so many cute pastel things that I've been seeing. Like this look on Instagram for one. I don't know. This one is just so patchy right now. I already knew that was gonna happen. Didn't I tell you guys? Because I know how these things work. But yeah, these two brushes are the best. This one I recently fell in love with, the 217. I wasn't using it much before, especially when I would do clients at work or something like that, or if I would do clients, even my own personal clients. But yeah, definitely a newfound love for this brush. Now I'm just diffusing, going back in, diffusing those edges. This is so editorial, guys. I am gagged and I'm loving it every little second. Okay, we're back, y'all, and I just cleaned up what had fallen down with a makeup wipe. And now we're gonna go in with the MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body Radiant Sheer Foundation. This is the color C8. This is actually my first time ever trying this foundation on my full face. So let's see what she's giving. And we're going in with my favorite foundation brush of all time, the 170S brush. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first brush that I owned, or maybe not the first brush that I owned from MAC. It's definitely like one of the first brushes that I think I fell in love with at MAC for sure. I have so many of these brushes, like maybe 5, and I will definitely get more because this brush is the best. I believe this brush was created for, I'm gonna add a little bit more just to build up a little bit more coverage, even though this foundation is barely any coverage, but that's okay because we want this to be really natural, editorial, skin, all the things. Yeah, I love this brush. I have so many backups of this brush. I use this brush on all of my clients, all of them. It's the best. But I believe this brush was created for the Studio Fix foundation, if I'm not mistaken. But I use it with every foundation because look how quickly it works and blends into the skin. Like, I just love that. So this doesn't cover any of my imperfections, so we're gonna use the concealer to do that. And we're not going super light with our concealer today. We're gonna go in with the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer, and this is in the color Butterscotch. It's not very light at all, pretty close to my natural skin color. And I'm putting this on anywhere where I want to cover some of my hyperpigmentation, which my skin was doing so well, and I don't know what really happened, to be honest. Like, I'm a little saddened and disappointed that my skin like kind of derailed a bit. So you can use the 224 to blend out concealer, I know a lot of my artist friends love that trick of like, because it really like diffuses the concealer out and everything. But for me, I love a beauty blender for concealer. I always have, and I don't see myself switching it up anytime soon, to be honest. I did used to love the concealer version of the 170 foundation brush, which I think is like the 228 maybe, or something of that nature. Now I'm not going to cut the shadow. I'm gonna kind of just leave it where it is because this is very editorial, like I was saying, and it's gonna be a little more, I don't want to say messy, but kind of. It's just not gonna be that like cleaned up edge that's very trendy right now in the makeup community. We're gonna leave it like blown out, and but I do have some pigmentation there, so that's why there's concealer there, but it's not meant to, you know, cover up any of that blue. So MAC brushes are kind of expensive a little bit, very expensive, honestly. They can go like, even an eye brush, I think the 224 brush is $30 for an eye brush. I kind of do think that's a little bit, I mean, I understand it's the quality. I do understand that they are pricing it like based off of the quality and because of the name, like it's MAC, so it's like MAC is MAC is like, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, I don't think it'll ever really change. I really do believe that MAC is like a #1 brand. No matter how many brands come out, I really do believe that MAC will always be kind of elite brand that stands in its own category, and I feel like it'll always be kind of #1. And I'm just using a little bit of concealer to clean up on the inside, but not clean up too much because, like I said, it's supposed to be editorial, so we're not going to be doing the contour and all that stuff. We are going to use bronzer, but it's not meant to be like that kind of look. Now, because we're not going to be like cutting our contour and doing any of that, I'm gonna go in with the powder. This is the same Fenty powder and honey, and I'm not baking, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just pressing the powder into the skin, and we're going in with the 129S brush. I love this brush so much. This brush can be used for powders like I'm doing now, and I tap it into the cap to get it even, and I'm just taking it and dusting it onto the skin. Like I'm baking but then brushing it away, if that makes sense. Like it's not baking, but I'm placing it and then brushing it because I want the powder to mattify my skin for sure. So if I just dust it on without kind of packing it first, I don't feel like I'll still get that same matte effect that I'm looking for. But I love this brush, especially for blushes. I really love this brush for blush. Powder too, when I'm using a pressed powder all over the skin. This is a really good pressed powder brush, but you can also use it for blush, contour. Like you can use this side to contour and the other side for blush. So I really love that. So I'm just powdering the whole skin down, and don't forget under that neck. I like to bring my powders down here because that's what really diffuses it and makes it look even when the powder is down there, and not just when you put the foundation down there. And I'm gonna just add a little bit more powder to the places where I know oil picks up very easily on my skin. I am gonna like semi-bake those areas. I actually like the foundation with the concealer combo. That's so pretty. Wow. I slept. This is a very good combo right here. This all over with like because this was a little bit darker on my skin, but I know that the C7 is not, it's gonna be too light, and I don't want my foundation to be too light. Like I can like, you know, put like a close to a skin tone concealer and it'll balance it out. Yeah, I'd rather do that because yeah, no, I don't like light foundations at all. Because once you add your lighter concealer or even a skin tone concealer, it just does not look balanced. So now we're going in with the Sunstalker bronzer. This is the Rich Golden. And I'm going in with the 168S brush, which is also a recent, like, and I mean very recent love. And I really love this brush for contouring because look how just good it fits in those contours. And then you can use it on this side to really, like, you can use it this way to place the product, and then you can use it the thick way to diffuse it out. When I saw this look, I was obsessed and I knew that I had to recreate it. I love that I'm getting back into my love for makeup, to be honest, you guys, because I was pretty stagnant with the makeup and just not really progressing. And I'm just so happy that I'm back and inspired and, you know, really honing in on my craft again, because I love makeup. I really do. I've really missed creating looks. I've really missed it. This is like where I'm happiest, I feel like. So then I'm gonna go back in with the 129S brush, because like I said, you can use this for contour too. I used it for powder, but I'm gonna just take a little bit more bronzer so that it really looks like diffused and it doesn't just look like contour. It actually is like bronzing my skin up. And now we're gonna use the That's Peachy Glow Play blush. And I should have put this on first because it's a cream and you're not really supposed to put creams on top of powders, but yeah, we gonna do it. So I'm going in with the 129S brush again, and this one has some glow to it, so I really like it. It's really pretty as a topper. It's so pretty. I can't believe I slept on these Glow Play blushes. When the new colors came out of these blushes, they're really dark skin friendly, like black girl friendly. I used to not really like the Glow Play blushes because I felt like they just weren't pigmented enough to show up on, like, you know, black skin. But when the new blushes came out, and That's Peachy is an older shade, but I just slept on it until the new shades came out, and then it made me explore like some of the older shades. So, and then we're gonna go in with a little bit of the Patrick Ta. This is the She's Vibrant. Just a little bit of this powder just to place on top of the cream, like that much. And this is not my type of blush at all, you guys. I don't wear pink blushes, rarely ever. I wear lots of warm blushes, but peachy pinks are not really my thing, but I see them all over the internet all the time. I'm getting into it, and because this is an inspired look, this is what she had on her skin, and just really diffuse it into the bronzer. I did all of that with the 129S brush. I applied my powder, cream, and powder blush, and I used it to diffuse out my bronzer. So that 129 brush is so versatile. Like, you can use all of that, and that's just one brush, and you won't have to worry about dirtying up a whole bunch of brushes. And that's one trick that I've learned while just, you know, doing makeup and doing clients and everything like that. You don't want, I'm just going in with the same colors that I use on the top on the bottom, and I'm using the 217. Like, I want it to be really diffused out and not like liner. So yeah, so that's like my biggest thing, is when you have to work quickly and fast and all of this stuff, and if you're doing a whole bunch of clients, you don't want to be dirtying up too many brushes. You want to have enough brushes to last you through the day, and if you can use one brush and get multiple things done with the brush, that's better than if you use the 129 for just contour and then you use another 129 for blush, and then you know, it's like all of that. You don't have to do all of that. It's best to try to have one brush that you can use for multiple things on a face, so that for one, you don't have to wash that many brushes. I don't know what makeup artist likes to wash their brushes, but I haven't met one yet. And so you don't waste brushes when you have a 12-person job or even a 3-person job. Like, you know, like, you don't want to use 20 brushes on one face and then you have 2 more people and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm out of brushes. In our kit, we're not gonna have 20 sets of you know, brushes for each client. Like, I mean, some people do that, and if you have the money to do that, and if that is what you want to invest in for your business, by all means. But if you are starting out, that is not necessary. And then I'm going back in with that purple so that it creates that periwinkle that's at the top. I might actually, because now it's getting really messy down there a little more messier than I like. So I'm gonna go in with the 239S back again, and yeah, just to make it a little bit cleaner and not as messy, but we're still gonna blend it out after this, so we still get that diffused look. But I just don't want it to mess with my concealer, because that's the point we want of the concealer, so that it looks clean under there and not crazy. You definitely want versatility when you have brushes, and I think MAC's brushes are the most versatile. So that is what that looks like. Now I'm about to hop off camera real quick, put my lashes on, we'll come back, do lips, and that'll be the look, you guys. Okay, you guys, so I put my lashes on, I put some mascara on the bottom, the Damn Girl mascara from Too Faced. Now we're gonna do lips, and then we'll go back and touch up. I'm just waiting for the lashes to dry just like a little bit more. So now we're gonna go in with lips. I'm going to lightly line my lips with chestnut. Like, so lightly. Yeah, and then I'm only lining just the top, just the Cupid's bow part. And then I'm going in with the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme in the Bubblegum Yum color, because I want it to be really pink. Even though on me it probably won't look that pink. It smells like Pepto-Bismol a little bit, which isn't Pepto-Bismol like bubblegum flavored, right? Pepto-Bismol is like bubblegum flavored, right? I want it to be a little bit more shiny, so I'm about to add a Juicy Tube just to make it like more shine. So I'm going in with Dreamsicle. So yeah, I'm going back in with the 208 brush, and you see how versatile you can use this as a lip brush and just kind of blend everything in so that the brown is not so harsh and it just looks blended into the lip and not like we have liner on. But yeah, I just want the lips to look really juicy. And then we're just gonna do our Matte Fix Plus. I'm just covering the clear glue a little bit just so it doesn't show as much, and then pinch those lashes. So good, love it. Okay, now we're gonna spray our Fix Plus. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. I love the way it came out. I feel like I nailed the inspo. Can y'all see that? All the lights, there we go. Like, is it giving? I feel like it's giving. So pretty. I love it so much. I probably won't wear this makeup actually to my friend's birthday, but that's okay. So yeah, but I love the way that the look came out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any favorite brushes, favorite brush brand, or you know, any MAC brushes that you think that are way better than the ones that I mentioned, because I know there are multiple other brushes from MAC that a lot of people love and use, but these are the ones that I just always gravitate towards, and I feel like make my makeup just look its best. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye y'all.